Alright, what's up guys? I am very excited today to bring you a brand new Galaxy Eyes deck profile. Card recently came out in Chaos Impact, the Galaxy Satellite Dragon. This card is insane. The requirements are just 2 dragons, which you play dragons in the deck, you'll be fine. But its battle phase attack and its searching effect are just crazy. Basically, its battle phase effect is when a number monster on your during the battle phase, you can target a number monster on your side of the field and then make it gain 100 times the number that it has in the title. So what you can do is you can target number 101, and during the battle phase this card actually gains 10,700 attack. And unfortunately, your opponent only takes half of the damage, but that doesn't really matter because the monster is going to be 13,500 attack. Like, you can literally get over any monster in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't think there's a single monster that'll survive that attack. But yeah, it can become 10,000, 13,700 attack just off of that, just off of having this in the graveyard, which is totally insane. But yeah, let's just get into the main deck now. We play 3 copies of the Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. I have 2 ghosts. I'm still waiting for the third one. But yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful card. Unfortunately, the camera doesn't even make it look as nice as it is. But we play 3 copies of that. Basically, his effects don't really matter all that much. You could just tribute 2 light monsters and special summon. I'm sorry, you can just tribute 2 monsters and special summon him. And then in addition to that, you can, when you battle, you can banish your opponent's monster, and then it returns during the end phase of that turn, which during the end of the battle phase, which doesn't really matter, but it's good to have the effect, I guess. 2 copies of Galaxy Knight. This is usually your best normal summon, one of your only normal summons in the deck, and then of course it does, if you have the Photon Dragon, lets you bring that back, which is pretty awesome because that's an instant rank 8 right there. We play 3 copies of Galaxy Brave. This card is basically like what's his name? Alternate Eyes, basically, for the deck. You just reveal a Photon monster, and then you get to special summon it, and then it can also become the stats of a Galaxy Eyes monster in the graveyard, which is pretty cool. Then we play 3 copies of my favorite Galaxy monster of all time, Galaxy Soldier. This not only is this card like good generically in like Cyber Dragon and some other decks, but this card is actually very, very good in. It's actually very, very good in this deck because you can, like, let's say you have 2, you can discard a light monster, special summon 1, and then you can just search any other Galaxy monster from your deck, which a lot of people don't know that. But yeah, you can actually search any Galaxy monster from your deck, not just another copy of itself, which, is just kind of an added benefit of playing it in the original deck. And the card you will usually be searching is 2 copies of Galaxy Wizard. This card is another amazing card. Basically, you can tribute this card and then add a Galaxy card from your deck to your hand that is spell, trap, like monster, doesn't matter. And then on top of that, this card can increase its level by 4, so it can become a rank 8, which is pretty cool. We play 1 copy of Galaxy Cleric. This, I only play 1 because it's more of a late game card. Basically, this card, when it's normal or special summoned, you can shuffle 5 Photon or Galaxy cards and then draw 2 cards. More for the late game, but like seeing this late in the game is like a guaranteed win. Like once you're sort of in the grind game, you summon this and you basically get 2 free cards and you get to sort of reset your deck. On top of that, you can add this from your hand as material, just in case you're running low on materials under an XYZ monster. Play 1 copy of Photon Thrasher. Free special summon. 2 copies of Photon Advancer, yet another free special summon. 3 copies of, this is 100% needed, Photon Orbital. This card's price went up recently, which is unfortunate, but what can you do? And it's probably not getting reprinted either. But basically, this card lets you equip it to a Photon or Galaxy monster, and then you can send the equip card to the graveyard, which is this card, and then search any Photon or Galaxy monster in the entire deck, which is like super good. It's basically like, this deck already searches amazingly, but this is basically like, it's honestly just a little bit of a complicated search card. They could have just made a spell that said search something, but I guess having it on monsters is even better because it can make your monster gain 500 attack, which is pretty decent. You know, They could have put it on a spell card. What difference does it make, I guess? Then we've got 3 copies of Photon Vanisher. This card is incredibly good, too, because this is basically another free special summon. And on top of it being another free special summon, you get to search the Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, the original one, of course, from the deck, which is pretty awesome because you want to have that in rotation. A lot of effects rely on that, so you just want to have them in rotation and constantly have at least one in your hand. But I guess you don't want to hard draw it. On top of that, what you can do is you can like activate the search effect, search the Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, and now you have a trade-in target. So it actually makes trade-in. Make sure that trade-in is never a dead card in your hand because you can search out that, and then there's a lot of like micro combos that you can do with that, but it's pretty cool. Now for the spell cards, we play 1 copy of Galaxy Trance. This card is decent. It is a hard once per turn and locks you out of normal or special summoning monsters, except Photon and Galaxy monsters. So you can go into some of your Link and XYZ monsters, but for the most part, you're still fine even if you use this. And the requirements is just to have a Photon monster in your graveyard, and then it's pretty simple to do, but sometimes it can brick you a little bit. It is a hard once per turn, and it is searchable, so I only play 1. We play 1 copy of Galaxy Zero. This is basically like Premature Burial for the archetype, but some would say even better because it lets you target a Photon and Galaxy monster. And remember, this is searchable off of Galaxy Wizard or Main Man. But it's really a good card because the equipped monster, like, it can't attack, but it doesn't matter because you're going to like XYZ summon with it anyway, so it doesn't really matter what it says. And then when this card leaves the field, the equipped monster becomes 0 attack, which is really cool because it doesn't get destroyed. So even if they destroy this card, like, the equipped monster is still going to it's still going to be there, so it doesn't really matter. It just becomes 0 attack, but you're going to XYZ with it anyway, so who cares? We played 2 copies of Galaxy Expedition. This card is, again, it's a hard once per turn, so I'm only playing it at 2, and it's searchable, so I have no real reason to be playing it at more than 2. I might even cut it down to 1, I don't know, but it is a very good card because it lets you, if you control level 5 or higher Photon or Galaxy monster, you can special summon a Photon or Galaxy monster from the deck, which is basically, links or XYZs, whatever you need. It lets you fulfill the requirements. Then we play 3 copies of Photon Sanctuary. This card is insane in this deck, and it's insane in light decks. Basically, it summons 2 tokens, and then it locks you into lights for the rest of the turn. But that doesn't even matter because it makes no difference if you get locked into lights or not. Again, the majority of our extra deck is light, and on top of that, this is basically like a guaranteed Link monster. Any Link monster we basically want is basically guaranteed. Like Galaxy Eyes or the Hippo Shinigami, like 100% guaranteed for us. None of the restrictions really matter, so it's an awesome card in this deck and basically in any light deck. I'm playing around with this. I'm playing 1 copy of Photon Hand. This deck can go first or second, but the way I built it, it's leaning slightly more to go second. The deck, this card I'm sort of playing around with. I'm still, it's not guaranteed to be in there, but from testing, I do kind of like it. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like this card. It lets you kidnap a monster. It's basically like another Cypher Dragon, but it's a spell card. I'm kind of, I'm on the fence about it, but I so far I kind of liked it. It is a hard once per turn, so I am playing it at 1. 1 Asalite. Again, this deck is built to go second, so it doesn't matter. Having this card at 1 isn't that bad. It's just when you draw multiples, it's a problem, but drawing 1 is never really that bad. Then we play 2 copies of Trade-In. Don't want to work too hard with the Trade-In. 1 copy of Reinforcements because it searches all our Photon monsters. Well, not all, but most. 1 Monster Reborn. And for the last thing, one of the best counter traps in the game, Tachyon Transmigration. Yeah, basically, if you control Galaxy Eyes monsters, you can negate spell, trap card, or monster effect, and then you can actually shuffle all cards activated in the chain beforehand, which is insane because if you activate a card, your opponent activates one, then you activate one, then they activate one. You can when you negate every single card in this chain and then shuffle all of those cards into the deck, which is just insane because you can negate like 4 cards, or you can shuffle away like 4 cards. It's kind of insane. when you do like something crazy with this card, it feels amazing because you can just get rid of so many cards. And then if you have a Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon, you can activate this card from the hand, which is another insane effect. We only play, I think, one copy of Tachyon Dragons. Yeah, we just play 107, but it's whatever. He's amazing in the battle phase. But that is the main deck. Let's move on to the extra deck. Play one copy of the new Galaxy Satellite Dragon. This card is not like super hard to make, but it's like it's a little rough to make in this deck. But its effect is just insane. The whole gaining all of the attack, like 100 times the amount of numbers in the title, which is insane. And then its other effect is that during your opponent's end phase, you can put any card in your deck on the top of your deck, so you're like guaranteed to draw during the following turn. It's really cool. One hit post Shinnigan, just like attack for game. It's also good with the photon sanctuary, the thing that summons tokens. Pretty good with that. Two copies of Galaxy Eyes Solar Flare Dragon. This is one of our main link monsters. You definitely got to play it. Might cut it down to two. I mean, might cut it down to one. I don't know. I'm still like, from what I've seen, I usually want to go into at least two of these in a game. So they're pretty good for that. One Neo Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. This card's good. Could be replaced. It's up to you. Then we've got the Cipher package. We've got the Galaxy Cipher Dragon, the Kidnapper. Basically, he takes your opponent's monster, and then you overlay this one, and you pop an opponent's card. It's crazy. Then we've got one Starliege Photon Blast Dragon, the only rank 4 in the deck. One Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon, one of my new favorites. I used to think he was buns. I used to think he was awful, but with the counter trap and with the satellite dragon, he is like a guaranteed OTK because they can't even like even if they mirror force, you can activate this from the hand. It's insane, and then you gain all that attack. Number 38 Hope Harbinger Dragon negates all spells. Bam. Number 90. This card is already good because it negates monster effects, so it's already a good generic rank 8. But on top of that, in this deck, it can let you search a Photon or Galaxy card, so it makes like the entire deck searchable. You can either search it or put it underneath him as material, which is just crazy. Like I said, it makes almost the entire deck searchable. All the Photon, all the Galaxy cards, it's broken. Then we play the Cyber Dragon package, one Nova, one Infinity. Basically make this with Galaxy Soldier. And then one copy of number 97, Drag Lebluyan. Yeah, he's nuts too. You can basically summon an XYZ monster, and then you can attach another you can take a number monster and special summon it, and then you take another number monster and you put it underneath that number monster as material, which is basically it just like turbos out of free XYZ summon. So it's really, really good for that. But that is it. That is the deck so far. I think it's really, really fun to play. I'm experimenting with a lot of different cards, Photon Hand, and a number of other cards. But yeah, if you enjoyed the deck profile, drop that like and subscribe.